What did I call you? I called you a...
You called me a hero, which is ridiculous.
Well, I might do it again then.
All right.
Hello, this is Patrick Russell from the BFI National Archive, and this is the BFI's YouTube channel. I'm very delighted to welcome John Krish, our dear friend and hero of documentary cinema, to answer your questions.
See what the first question is.
Okay, question number one. This comes from Chris Salt via email. How does it feel to be discovered for work that you did almost 50 years ago? I imagine it's nice to be recognised for it even after all this time, but is there any sense that it would have been nice if it had come sooner?
Wow, what a start. Of course I'm pleased to be recognised whilst I'm still alive. I think that's the point. Would I have liked it whilst I was working? I don't think I would. I think it might have turned my head. There were a lot of people working alongside me who were craving publicity. And I think, I will not mention their names, but those who know will know. And watching them at work in the world of self-promotion was very off-putting. And I was pleased just to be making films and not making an ass of myself.
Very good. Our second question comes from Blaj Kutin via email, and he asks, looking back, how do you feel about staging and directing your subjects in documentaries? Do you feel you came as close to the truth as possible? And he puts the words, the truth, in inverted commas.
There's no truth in film. This is a complete misconception of either newsreel or documentary. It is a confection. It is organized deliberately to deceive, to give the impression of the truth, but it is not the truth. It is manipulated, and I have never thought that I was dealing in the truth. I was trying to put over my perception of reality, but it was always my perception. That's what I was employed to do, but the truth? Where is the truth? Where I put a camera is my decision. Where somebody else puts the camera is their decision. What I write in a commentary, the words I write, are mine, and I work off my instinct. I'm not concerned with the truth. I'm concerned with spreading something to an audience that I believe the audience needs. And that is generally an awareness of what's happening, so that once they see the film, they say to themselves, oh, I never thought of it like that. That's my role. That always has been.
Well, our next question comes from Helen via email. Helen's question, which is a very interesting question, is, do you think documentary makers are less ego-driven than fiction filmmakers, the so-called auteurs, or creators of cinematic universes?
I think there's more fear in feature films, that there's more money at stake, the pressure from the top is greater. Ego? You could have an egocentric assistant. You could have an egocentric actor. For a director, it is a very downhill path, I think, to be egocentric. Of course, one has to know what one's doing. One is the boss, but the secret is not to be bossy. I think the most important words for a director when speaking to any member of his unit are, I need your help.
Okay, we have a very nice question here from Barcelona Nil via Twitter. Barcelona Nil asks, if you could go back to any era in any city and make a 20-minute documentary, when and where would you go?
That's a very deep question, isn't it? I mean, what a choice. I think it would have to be Moscow. I think it would have to be at the time of the revolution, so that I could be part of Eisenstein and Pudovkin and the feeling for film and discovering editing and being part of a movement and putting it on film for the world to see. I don't think there's a better time. I think I would probably have made a film about the directors in action, because nobody has got anything on film of them at work. And they were so important to us all, and especially those in documentary. The passion with which they made their films, the exploration of the cinema and the camera, to film those who were, in a way, not inventing the cinema, but who were showing the world what the struggle was about in the most graphic form. And it still is graphic today. Their films in no way date.
Our next question comes from Malcolm Wallace via email. Malcolm's question is, Britain today has great diversity in its people, but ever-increasing uniformity in terms of place. If you were setting out to make documentaries about our country today, where and how would you begin?
Well, I would begin by attacking television, because I think that it has undermined people's judgment, people's sense of what is valuable. And I think the television has no conscience at all in lowering our standards of what is good and what is not good.
What sort of subject would you pick today?
For instance, the amount of killing on television, fictional killing, that almost every program which is entertainment has death in it. Also, television in its own way has become a bank. That is, that you can make money by entering competitions. And when we get to programs like the Jeremy Kyle show, then we're in the bear baiting department, and we have gone back to the time when watching lunatics was a form of entertainment. There's a great deal to attack on television, and I could have a wonderful time doing it.
If any producers are watching, I'm sure John's...
I'm ready.
Thank you all for your questions, and thank you, of course, as always, to our friend John Krish.
Well, I'm very pleased that people are interested enough to write in, and I hope the answers helped.